Quiles in court.
Quiles pleaded not guilty to the charges today. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Phil Amato.
I'm Dawn Lopez. Action News Jack's Alicia Tarancon is live outside of the county courthouse now. Alicia, you saw family inside during that hearing.
Yes, a handful of the victim and the suspect's family was in the courtroom today, and they sat and listened as the state told the judge that they were seeking the death penalty in the case against Jonathan Quiles. Jonathan Quiles, the sole suspect in the disappearance of Ayanna Sawyer, walked into the courtroom with his hands shackled together. Last month, Action News Jax told you the state attorney's office charged Quiles with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of sexual battery. On the other side of the room, the prosecutor stood up and told the judge, based on the evidence in the case,
the state of Florida's intention to seek the death penalty for the murder and the first-degree offenses charged in this case.
The state is seeking the death penalty. Today, Quiles pleaded not guilty. 4 months ago, Action News Jax went through hours of interrogation video where they found evidence the two were in a relationship together. They also said Sawyer wrote about her pregnancy in her diary and claims Quiles was upset about it. But he denied any inappropriate relationship with his niece.
I have nothing to do with it. I'm sorry. I wish I can help you. I can't.
The 16-year-old disappeared in December while she was 5 months pregnant. Police say she was last seen leaving Terry Parker High School. Sources revealed in January that a landfill search off Otis Road was related to the teen's case. The teen's body has never been found. As soon as Quiles left the courtroom, Ayanna Sawyer's family stood up, all of them wearing t-shirts with the teen's face, some with the words, "We love and miss you, Princess Yaya." And we also asked Sawyer's family if they had anything to say after the arraignment, but they told us no comment. Reporting live in downtown, Alicia Tarancon, CBS47, Action News Jax.
New this noon, State Attorney Melissa Nelson is asking Florida's governor to take another look at whether former public defender Matt Shirk broke any laws. Shirk was the focus of a number of investigations. No charges were ever filed, but in a new letter, State Attorney Nelson says that it warrants a further review. We broke the news on social media of a state audit alleging Shirk broke public record laws and failed to repay taxpayers for benefits that he received or pay back. Paige Kelton will have more on the story tonight at 6. Developing right now, we are working to find out what led up to a man being shot in a neighborhood in the St. Nicholas area. Action News Jax broke the news about that shooting on Woods Avenue this morning. And since then, police say that the victim was taken to the hospital where he died. Neighbors tell Action News Jax that a father and son may have gotten into an argument that led to gunfire. JSO would only confirm the case is domestic. The shooting in St. Nicholas wasn't the only shooting overnight. 2 people were shot feet away from a Jacksonville church, and police say the suspects got away. That happened around 11:30 on West 22nd Street, which is about a mile and a half away from the Boys and Girls Club in Brentwood Park. The victims are expected to survive. We could see above average hurricane season this year.
Oh boy, Action News Jax First Alert Meteorologist Garrett Beanbod joins us now. You just got an update within the last hour about this, right?
Yeah, NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, updating their forecast as is typical this time of year. Let's go ahead and take a look at it right now. The latest numbers, if you have the First Alert weather app, you got this notification the instant we could get it typed up for you. You can see here the hurricane seasonal averages 12, 6, and 3. Named storms, hurricanes, and 3 usually, or on average, major hurricanes, category 3 or higher. This is the updated NOAA numbers. They've upped their numbers a little bit. 10 to 17 named storms, 5 to 9 of those hurricanes, 2 to 4 becoming major hurricanes. And also Colorado State University, this is what we told you the other day, this week earlier, 14, 7, and 2. Of course, these are all just outlooks. It only takes 1 hurricane to mess up our day here locally, right? This is as we approach the peak of hurricane season. August 8th is where we are right now. This is the climatological peak of hurricane season, so still a long way to go before we see what kind of impacts the U.S. or even our local neighborhood could see from this hurricane season. But the good news is there's nothing developing right now over the next 3 to 5 days. That's kind of the bottom line. Our next named storm is Chantal. A lot of dry air and dust across the Atlantic basin, so that's good news for no development. Talking the tropics with Mike, though, every day from Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Coming up in your First Alert 7-day forecast, I'll be timing out some local storms today. That's coming up in your First Alert 7-day forecast.
Well, some students went back to school in Georgia locally this morning, and now they're probably getting ready for lunch. Duval County, St. Johns County goes back on Monday, but one local mom is warning drivers to be on the lookout for students. Terry Bryant Jr. would have gone on to the 7th grade next week. He died nearly a year ago when he was hit and killed on his walk home from a school bus stop in Arlington. His mother, Tanya Brown, wants to make sure this doesn't happen to another child.
If I would have heard this before my son got hit, I would have said that'll never be my child, but you just never know.
Now, according to the Transportation Research Board, nearly 100 children are killed every year while walking either to or from school. Meanwhile, nearly 25,000 kids are hurt. Within the last decade, nearly 1 in 4 child pedestrian fatalities happened between 3 and 7 p.m. Florida Highway Patrol has a tool called the Crash Dashboard. You can see if there are any crashes that happened near your child's bus stop. A link is posted on actionnewsjax.com.
The next time you go to visit a Duval County school this year, you have to pass a background check. It's one of the new security measures Duval County Public Schools is taking to keep our kids safe. Now, you'll have to go to visitor check-in and then allow them to scan your ID. And then a quick on-site background check will happen.
It also allows us for our police department to have a system to look at very quickly to see what adults are actually in a building in the case of an emergency.
In the past, parents have been able to just sign in and get a pass to get on campus. Now, here is a look at all of those back-to-school dates. It was Glenn County who went back just this morning. Every school district in the area will be back in session by this time next week. Most Georgia schools started already, and most schools in Florida start on Monday. So there you have, like, for example, again, St. Johns, Duval, Putnam counties, Bradford, you all go back on Monday.
A local business owner says 2 women, including one with a child, were caught on video stealing. This surveillance video here appears to show the pair stealing clothes from the Once Upon a Child store in Regency Park. Action News Jack's Elizabeth Pace found crime is becoming more of a problem in this shopping center.
It looks like the 2 women start in this back room shuffling through the different onesies, but then you'll notice them looking around, and then you'll see they're well aware that surveillance cameras are watching them. A woman who looks pregnant is holding a basket. There's a small child by her feet. Another woman is taking clothes off the hangers. Just as soon as she opens her purse and looks up, she turns right back around. But she doesn't go very far. The next aisle over, another surveillance camera caught the woman stuffing clothes in a purse.
In this day and age, like, you could easily get caught shoplifting. You know, like, we have Facebook, all these different ways.
Autumn Robinson and Kayla Baldwin shop in this Regency Park often and say shoplifting is a real problem.
They actually have good prices in there. Why would you want to steal from there? It's all cheap, I heard.
Once Upon a Child owner Jeannie Blaylock told me it's not the first time a pregnant woman has stolen from her store.
I thought they were being very foolish because our cameras are running 24/7, and if you get caught stealing our store, you're probably going to be made famous pretty soon.
Blaylock says the pair in this video stole more than 20 items of clothing and several toys, valued at more than $100. The store posted the video online, hoping someone might recognize them. They also filed a police report with JSO.
It is very frustrating. It doesn't only keep inventory off the floor for the customers, it raises prices, makes it hard to give raises to employees.
And Ahead at 5 will show you what's helping protect this store and their message to the thieves. Reporting in the Regency area off Atlantic Boulevard, Elizabeth Pace, CBS47, Action News Jax.
Jags fans, football fans, the wait is over. So tonight, we'll get our first look at the home team. We haven't seen them in play in more than 6 months. The Jags' first preseason game is tonight.
That's right. The countdown finally over, right? As your official Jaguar stations, we're with the team every step of the way. For more, let's get you over to Action Sports Jax Brent Martineau all the way up in Baltimore. And Brent, as badly as Jags fans want to see their new starting quarterback in action, tonight's game won't be the time to see Nick Foles, right?
Yeah, likely not. All signs indicate that won't happen for Nick Foles. It's the way of the world in the NFL now. That 4th preseason game and the first preseason game, a lot of the starters don't play. All about getting healthy, being healthy by the time the season starts on September 8th when the Jags host the Kansas City Chiefs. But still a lot to get excited about with Nick Foles and his impact on this football team. We watched him practice here in Baltimore Monday and Tuesday. We talked to Foles yesterday. He said he got a lot of good work in with his receivers, with the offensive line. So this was a productive week for Foles and the offense, but it will be Gardner Minshew having most of the reps tonight against the Baltimore Ravens and most likely their second team. Want to give you a guy to watch tonight, though, on the defensive side, and it's a name you know, Taven Bryan, first-round pick a year ago out of the University of Florida, had a subpar rookie season. He has a lot to prove here in 2019. He will play. He'll get some snaps, so he'll be one of the bigger names playing tonight against the Ravens, so keep an eye on Taven Bryan. See if he has a breakout year in 2019. We have TV and radio here in Baltimore live all week, coming up at 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock. Join us on ESPN 690 live inside M&T Bank Stadium, and then TV coverage all night long here on CBS 47 and Fox 30. We've got football. Who cares who's playing? Football is back for the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight. The preseason kicks off. Live in Baltimore, I'm Brent Martineau with the Jags. Action Sports Jax.
Thank you, Brent. We're loving it. Action Sports Jax getting you ready for tonight's game. Tune in to Fox 30 at 7 o'clock for countdown to kickoff. That's followed by the big game as the Jags take on the Ravens.
And from the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Wiedenball. Feels like temperatures already above 100 degrees right now. How high they get this afternoon and when we get some relief in the form of thunderstorms. That's coming up in the Action News Jax First Alert 7-day forecast.
A math mistake means one Florida county has to repay the government millions. Why FEMA wants its money back.
Plus, facing yet another problem. The new issue Boeing may be dealing with that's involving the 737 MAX Dreamliner passenger jets.
What to watch, brought to you by Ashley Home Store.
The Camden County Board of Elections is looking to change polling locations to keep them away from schools. Now, they're worried about student safety because of increased scrutiny surrounding elections. Another proposal in the works, they want to try to keep polling places out of fire stations where there's limited parking so voters don't impede on emergency response times. They also want public opinion on this at their next meeting on August 15th.
A storm of a different kind for one Florida county. FEMA wants back millions of dollars in emergency disaster aid. Now, according to FEMA, it overpaid Charlotte County $14 million in disaster funds following Hurricane Charlie in 2004. County leaders say that they received little funding from FEMA after Hurricane Irma and fears the agency will try to withhold that money if they can't pay back the overpaid funds.
We can't understand because they signed off on these amounts. And now they're coming back and saying, no, insurance should have covered all of it. But we didn't receive enough insurance to cover all of it.
Charlotte County has filed now an appeal. Officials say that if they lose this appeal, they'll have to pay that money back using the county's reserve funds. Action News Jax told you back in July when Clay County was granted more than $3 million to help pay for damages from Hurricane Irma. Jacksonville got more than $5 million, and that money will reimburse the counties for debris removal and emergency measures taken during the storm.
Today, the first funerals will be held for some of the 22 victims of the mass shooting at the El Paso Walmart. Yesterday, President Trump spent the day talking to the community during a visit. Reaction to the president's visit was mixed.
I find it hypocritical that our president comes in here to basically play the part of him being a sympathizer when in reality it's been in his rallies that he has painted us as an unsafe city.
Both sides are using some strong rhetoric. Now, I believe both sides need to get together and actually have a conversation.
Earlier on Wednesday, on his way out of the White House, the president told reporters there is, quote, great appetite for background checks. Action News Jax is continuing coverage of the shootings on our website and mobile app. There you can find a gallery including pictures of those victims. Social media reaction too as people push for change and ways to help those affected.
This was something to see hours ago, and right now the Atlas V rocket is traveling into space.
We have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket with
Atlas 5's launch was delayed for nearly 30 minutes this morning as the systems were all checked. The Atlas V will launch satellites to help the military provide secure communications in case of a nuclear conflict. And this is video sent in to us from a viewer this morning. This was taken on Jacksonville's south side near JTB and Deerwood Office Park, and we brought you live looks at it from St. Augustine skies as well.
Boeing facing a new problem with its 787 Dreamliner passenger jets. A report from Wired magazine says a leaked code reveals potential security flaws in the Dreamliner's design systems. Those flaws could allow an individual to access restricted parts of the plane's network, like flight controls. Boeing denies those claims. The 787 has been grounded since March after two of its 787 MAX jets were involved in two fatal crashes.
Health experts say that you shouldn't stop getting vaccinations after your adulthood, well into adulthood. Experts from the American College of Physicians say that most adults aren't aware they need vaccinations throughout their lives. They say that patients should use the same that they get seasonal flu shots to get recommended immunizations, some of which include vaccines against tetanus and whooping cough.
Now certified, Jacksonville's most accurate weather forecast. Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beadenbaugh. Right now it's already 90 degrees in Jacksonville and many local neighborhoods here. 92 in Brunswick. It is steamy outside with feels like temperatures 100 to 105 and even 106 reported at Fernandina Beach. 102 is what it feels like for you in St. Augustine, and the 100-degree readings are all the way out here with the feels like temperatures at Jacksonville Beach. Air temperature at 89 degrees, a west wind at 8 miles per hour, but the water temperature is in the mid-80s, so a little bit of relief, but not much there in the water. Low 90s for the afternoon, high there at the immediate coast. We'll see partly sunny skies, some isolated showers and thunderstorms possible this afternoon and likely, especially in northeast Florida. In fact, we're already seeing a few showers develop to the west of the viewing area here this afternoon. You can see there's Gainesville. There's one little shower in southern Columbia County, and there's more activity off to the south and west. Generally going to be moving from west to east through the day today. Right now, it is dry as you get ready to head out perhaps for lunchtime in Jacksonville and across northeast Florida and southeast Georgia. But as we head between especially 2 and 3 p.m., we'll see some of those showers continue to develop. Locally, heavy downpours and some lightning strikes are the primarily threats for this afternoon, and especially in northeast Florida. An isolated shower possible in southeast Georgia, but the bulk of the activity I think will be in northeast Florida as we head through this evening. Now, we will begin to dry out after sunset with the loss of the daytime heating. We'll have a dry morning commute for you on your Friday, and then we'll see more widely scattered coverage of some showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon and early evening before things die down for your evening plans on Friday. That's at least some good news there. But again, the storm threat, mainly the heavy rain threat for the day today, with those high temperatures eventually getting into the mid-90s in Jacksonville. So we'll see those feels like temperatures 105 plus in many local neighborhoods for this evening. In fact, you can see here we go in that hour-by-hour forecast, pretty much above 100 through the time. Perhaps you got some folks coming home from work, or you're coming home from work as well. Your Action News Jax First Alert 7-day forecast with your weekend always in view. Still those mid-90s tomorrow. Some spots inland in the upper 90s. It'll feel like 105 plus again. The afternoon showers and storms increase in coverage as we head through the weekend in the afternoons, especially with high temperatures still in the low 90s as we head through next week with more afternoon storms. You can always get this forecast any time of the day by downloading the free Action News Jax First Alert weather app.
Snapping into a milestone, what one alligator celebrity, Chance the Snapper, did for the first time since leaving Chicago.
And winning a trip the way you could go to Costa Rica for free.
Local alligator celebrity Chance the Snapper hit another milestone this week. The alligator started eating food for the first time since it arrived here at the alligator farm from Chicago. Action News Jax told you just last month when Chance was caught by a Florida trapper in Chicago's Humboldt Park Lagoon. The animal is currently in a 90-day quarantine.
Well, new at noon, Starbucks wants to send you on a free tropical vacation. That sounds kind of cool. The coffee company launched its 2019 summer game. It's a virtual board game resembling Monopoly. Starbucks says winning mini games could give you the chance to collect different pieces, which then can be used to unlock some prizes. You have to be a Starbucks Rewards member to play, and one lucky winner will get a trip to Starbucks Coffee Farm in Costa Rica. Sip some coffee and then do some surfing.
plant-based meats are rolling out nationwide, and it seems people like it. Coming up new at 5:30, what you're actually eating when you bite into that faux burger.
All right, here's your 7-day forecast. Got some showers and a few thunderstorms. Very isolated in nature as we head through this afternoon. The big story the next 2 days is the heat with a few downpours.
Boy, hot enough to cook a hamburger out there, isn't it? Don't even need a grill. All right, stay cool, everyone. Have a great day.
Well, hot dogs. Y&R is coming up next.